5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. All engine running. Liftoff. We have a liftoff.
Welcome to TMI, where we give too much information on things that I don't want you to know. Welcome. I'm your host, Tom P. And here we talk about consumer laws, constitutional rights, conspiracy theories, things that I want you to know. So come, be prepared to have your mind and reality blown. It will help if you're blown too. The first order of business we'll be talking about is constitutional law, constitutional rights. See, a lot of people don't realize that the supreme law of the land is the Constitution. In every state, federal, county, municipal, which means commercial, has to abide and follow the Constitution. So, if you consider yourself a U.S. citizen, go ahead and read the Constitution, especially the first 10 amendments, all right? Those are called the Bill of Rights. And within the Bill of Rights, the very first thing on there, if you look, which is called the preamble, says, we the people. All right, it doesn't say we the government. It doesn't say we the people. So the people are the ones who created the Constitution. And further on, it says that the people have inalienable rights, meaning nobody can give or take away. They're bestowed upon the people by their Creator. So therefore, in order to even get a sense of your rights, you have to have some sort of understanding of you being a creation of the Creator. So you have to have an understanding of God. And that's where a lot of people mess up. Because a lot of people don't have an understanding of God. A lot of people don't even know who God is. A lot of people deny who God is. So if you fall into that category where you don't acknowledge the Creator, how can you acknowledge your rights? The constant that you can't. And that's why a lot of people get their rights violated by these corporate entities, which are considered legal fictions. Look it up in the legal dictionary. Because there is a difference between legal and lawful. Just like there's a difference between a common dictionary and a legal dictionary. Some words used in a common dictionary are totally different than things that are used in a legal dictionary. For instance, a person. In a legal dictionary, the definition of a person is a natural or legal entity, meaning a corporation, business, But whereas a natural person is an individual of the earth, a human being. Okay? So just remember that legal is not lawful. You may ask yourself, why is this important? How does this pertain to me? Well, if you were born in the United States, chances are you have what's called a birth certificate. And a birth certificate is a legal document. Now, that legal document is also known as a contract, all right? And if you look on that birth certificate or contract, you will see that it has your mother's name, your name, the state's name. But under your mother's name, it doesn't say mother, it says informant. Furthermore, that birth certificate is your natural being transformed from a natural person into a legal entity. What I mean by that is the moment you are born, the state that you are born in converts you into a business or corporation. And the name of that business is your name in all caps. So if you look at any type of document, legal document that you have, whether it's from the post office, whether it's from school, whether your name is in all capitalization, okay? And that form of typing is Latin. It's a form of Latin transcript. I'm going to say this wrong, but it's Capital Maximus, something to that nature. And all it means is that in the legal in the legal world, you are a corporation, so you are a business. Therefore, you are able to do business with other businesses, i.e., the government, the state, because the state and the government are legal corporations or legal entities, but under the legal jurisdiction, they are classified as a person. So they have all the rights and privileges as a person. Now, if that makes sense to you, red flags should be going up. If that doesn't make sense to you, then you just need to study some more. Okay? Now, the turning of you from a natural person to a legal entity through the birth certificate establishes what they call a Sister KV trust. And the Sister KV trust is just another form of a beneficiary trust, which was created by the government through the Social Security Administration, which they provide you with a Social Security number, which is an account held by the Federal Reserve Bank, which is a private entity in which, under a law known as House Joint Resolution 192 and Public Law 73-10, it states that because in 1933 the U.S. government took away the people's way of paying debt, which was gold and silver as established in the Constitution in Article 1, Section 10, Clause 1, it states that no money shall be made to pay debts other than gold and silver. Pretty much just says that gold and silver is the only money allowed to be able to pay for debts. So through the act of taking away people's gold, the people's gold in 1933, they created a broke economy. The economy was broke at the time. No money in the economy, so the people didn't have a way to pay any debts, which was unconstitutional. So therefore, Congress passed House Joint Resolution 192, in which it states that all debts are prepaid and all debts that are current at the time that the HJR 192 was established will be discharged. So therefore, all debts are either prepaid or discharged because there is no money within the system. Now, you may say to yourself, man, Tom P., you're full of crap because I just got paid, through my job, through this check, or I just got paid through disability. Let me tell you something. That green dollar that you have is not money, all right? If you look on it, it says, this note is legal tender. This note is legal tender. That's not money. Legal tender is classified under what's called the Uniform Commercial Code, or the UCC. Now, every state, every federal banking corporation that's out there has to follow the UCC. It's the banking laws of all banks. And within the UCC, there are certain codes and chapters in there that state what banks can and cannot do. And one of those things are under the negotiable instrument code under Section 3, it states that negotiable instruments are documents such as promissory notes, checks, money orders, things of that nature. It says nothing about gold and silver, which is the only prescribed money within the Constitution. So therefore, they cannot require you as a consumer or as a citizen within the United States of America, they cannot require you to pay any debt with a specific note or a specific tender. Because again, under the Constitution, it says the only way to pay for debts is gold and silver. So you see how this confusion gets created, where it's like, oh, well, there is money, but there isn't money. I'm going to say it again. The only money allowed under the Constitution, which is the supreme law of the land, is gold and silver. And since there is no more gold and silver backing up the dollar due to the gold being removed from the people's hands in 1933, what's classified as legal tender, they're known as promissory notes. And promissory notes under the UCC, Article 3, under the negotiable instruments are money. So you can create your own money, i.e. negotiable instrument, promissory note, and use that to discharge any debt because, again, under House Joint Resolution 192, HJR 192, and Public Law 73-10, it says, again, that the government would discharge all debts because in 1933, they took away the people's debt. They took away the people's gold, okay? Which in turn meant that they took away people's way of paying for debts. Okay. Now, with that being understood, you need to also understand trust law because your Social Security number is a Sister trust, meaning that it is a beneficiary trust in which you, the natural person who has the Social Security number, are the beneficiary, meaning you're supposed to receive whatever you need in your life, they're supposed to take care of, meaning car, clothes, food, shelter, all those things, okay? That's what they don't want you to know. Now, the people who are supposed to ensure these things are what under trust law are known as trustees. And the trustees within the Sister KV Trust are the public officials or the workers in the government, all right? And then the creator of the trust, the grantor, is the government. Okay, they created Social Security Administration, in which provides the Social Security numbers, which is required to have as a U.S. citizen. Okay, so it's not like you even have an option on whether you want to be a beneficiary or not. You're just given it the moment you receive a birth certificate. Okay, and the birth certificate is a commodity that's being exchanged on the stock market. And you can look up on the back of your Social Security number, on the back of your Social Security card, there are red numbers, all right? And if you look at those red numbers, it always begins with a letter, A through whatever. I think there's 12, because those numbers represent the 12 jurisdictions or the 12 Federal Reserve banks across the nation, from one being in Boston to like the last one being out west, like California or Hawaii, whatnot, or Puerto Rico. In Puerto Rico. So after that letter on the back of your Social Security number is a bunch of numbers, and those numbers are routing numbers, okay? RTN, they're bank routing numbers. And if you look up those bank routing numbers, it will take you to a specific Federal Reserve bank within the 12, okay? So for instance, mine is located in St. Louis, okay? And whenever I look up this, it takes me, you can look this up on the Fidelity banking website they have on the stocks exchange lookup. You can look all this up, okay? And it will tell you the value of your birth certificate, okay? You as a legal entity are being exchanged because you're the only thing that's real within this world, okay? You are the only thing that gives things value because you have energy. You can go work, you can create things and give things value. So therefore, the only thing that's real and valuable within this whole world is you, the natural person. And again, this goes back to you understanding who you are in God's creation. Because if you don't understand, as it says in the Bible, that you are fearfully and wonderfully made, that you are valuable beyond all things, if you don't understand that you will never grasp the value that you bring within this commercial world, this business world. And they want you to not know because you'll be easier to control. You would bow your head to the government and look at them as God because they provide everything for you. And that's what they want. They want obedience to the system and not obedience to nature or your natural state. All right? Because your natural state is a creator. Because you were created to be a lower God on this earth. You were made to have dominion over all things on this earth. Okay? And again, it states this in the Constitution, all right, that you have inalienable rights and the people make up the government and not the government, the people, all right? So, and that's daily, every day that's misconstrued, okay? A lot of people, including the government, make the presumption that the government rule the people, all right, and that the government controls the people. That's a huge mistake, okay? Because the people make up the government, and the government is for the people, and by the people. So that's the first thing we want to talk about. I'm gonna let y'all chew on that for a little bit. And again, I encourage all of you guys to look up these laws, look up your rights, and you will see that these are mandates. These are laws established by Congress, established by the Constitution, in which every federal jurisdiction, every state jurisdiction, every county jurisdiction has to abide by. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. Okay? But because people don't know their rights and people don't know how to exercise their rights and people are just, sheep and they just follow what's being told to them, nobody challenges jurisdiction, nobody challenges the authority that these so-called government officials have. Don't forget that they are public servants. They serve the public. That's why you pay taxes. You pay their paycheck. Your taxes goes into their lives. All right. So I'm gonna leave y'all with that. Thank you for tuning in. Stay blessed.